Welcome to another video, another vlog. This will be like, I don't know, 1 or 2 days. I really don't know. It really depends. But it's basically the first, and basically, my goal for this month is to try and get in a new habit with listening to 2 hours of an audiobook every day. And then basically reading 200 physical pages and then 50 pages from an ebook of some kind. That is kind of the plan that I have, and I usually end up listening to more audiobooks, like more audio hours. I am on like almost like 3 hours now. Yeah. Once I am done with this book, I will be on 3 hours. But that is just because I want to be done with this book. So I basically started with not one that is on my TBR, but I just wanted to be done with this. And really, that is Find Me. And Find Me is basically about Jar. And basically, 5 years ago, Rosa walked out of his life and basically died. But he doesn't believe that. And then he gets a mail where it basically says, "Find me, Jar, find me before they do." And basically the question is she dead? Or is someone just, is she alive? Is she dead? Is someone playing him like a game? So, I'm not in love with this book. I'm gonna say this will probably just be a 2 stars. So, I just feel like the last, now I have like 100 pages left, and it's just now it has picked up. So, you know, when we got just like 200 pages in, we got to part 2, and there it really started to pick up a little, and now we are at the end and it has picked up more. But I don't think that is enough for me to give this a high rating, just because at this point, I don't care about any of the characters. So I have to say, I love thrillers that are twisty, that you are in the dark throughout the entire thing, and then at the end you are like, oh, it makes sense, but I just could not see that. With this one, there were just so many things in here that just kept me like, yeah, there are so many different elements in this book that kind of pulls me away from the story. Jar is an okay character, you know, he is fine, but I didn't kind of like some of the things that happen in here. And it picked up at like 300 pages. That's for me way too long to go before things picks up. And yeah, it doesn't matter that I kind of have no clue. You sort of have a clue what is going on, but you sort of don't know. Because the thing is, there are diary entries in here and you have no idea, are they true or are they just made up? And you sort of understand after a while that these cannot be the full truth. And it just pulls me a little out of the story where you are like this, like, yeah. And it's just, I don't really know how to explain what I don't like. I cannot connect with the characters once, you know, it's just, I didn't find the first like 200-300 pages interesting, and that is like, I have barely, like, there have just been a few parts that has been like, okay, now I need to know what happens. But I just feel like it has taken too long for me to care about this book, so this will probably be a 2 stars, I can already tell you that. I'm a little bit over 300 pages now. I have less than, I think I might have less than 50 pages in this. And I don't really love it. So that is the reason why I don't buy thrillers anymore. I rather listen to them because I tend to only read them once, but also there are so few that I actually care about. I have like 50 pages left, and there is nothing that can happen that will leave this at higher than that. So yeah, thrillers are definitely like a genre that I am really struggling with, because I tend to be drawn to those extremely dark ones that doesn't kind of, they make sense, but they are really dark, and you get so many twists that you kind of don't know what will happen at the end. So this year I have only liked, I think overall I have only liked 3 thrillers, but 2 of them are like things that I have read newer, and that is like, you know, I tend to be really conflicted about thrillers, and yeah, so try to read at least one every month. This one kind of was for last month, so I am kind of starting with this, but it's not a hit, and it's just, for me, dragging at this point. And I have so few pages left that I will finish it, but so far, not a good start to the month. Hopefully I will get to something better. So I have basically, just tried figuring out what physical book am I going to start with. So most likely I will also pick up something else, maybe, but I might just try and finish mostly of this. And the one that I'm talking about, I need to start this today because it is so long. Let's just try and not be spoiled though. Here we go. It's 1,080 pages. So I need to start this to be able to finish this. It's just not possible for me to start it later on, just because I know that I will struggle. So this will be my physical book for probably a while. And then for an ebook, I will probably start Never Never. Just because I need to get that one done as well, because that is a video that is going up on Friday now. So I really need to get that going, and yeah. So it will probably be like a few days before I can start It Ends With Us, and that's gonna be an interesting journey too. So I also need to finish Valor, I don't know. I got 200 pages in, but I just haven't picked it up since I started it. And I just think that this will probably be a book I read after reading 200 pages. So technically 300 pages until I'm like done with this. Because I do have a few books that I really need to read and get to. So, yeah. One thing I have done, I have written down kind of all the books that I need to read with page numbers, and it got a lot, to be honest, but yeah. So I also think that the next audiobook I will start is probably Emma tomorrow, and then after that one is done, I will probably start Red Seas Under Red Skies, just so I'm able to get through my TBR, my September TBR kind of first. Now I did start I did start with, I have already forgotten the name of it. That's not good. Find Me. I have already read that. Luckily it's done. So yeah, that's the plan. And I just think that I need to just read a few things, and yeah. So this will be the one that I'm starting for today. And if I read like 100 pages a day, it will take me like 10 days. So I might do that. I don't know if I can read 200 pages a day in this one, just because it gets really heavy. These books are really heavy, so I might have to pick up something that is a little easier. But then again, it will be really great to finish this one off like really quickly. And to be completely honest, I don't have that many physical books yet, just because the thing is that I don't have that many like physical books, because the books haven't been sent yet, and it just makes it a little easier, not easier, difficult to actually pick up something. And I don't want to pick up All Roads Lead Here, just because then I want to read the entire thing at once. So I think I might have to finish this one off and then just take a day to read All Roads Lead Here, because I know that I want to read the entire thing that day. Might read that for a video or something. I don't really know. Now I have read that one before, so it will be a reread, but yeah. I just think this one must be first priority, so I think I'm gonna start with 100 pages, and if I feel bold enough, then I will tackle another 100 pages. So I don't know what else to kind of pick up, because for this month it just really became a lot of fantasy essays. I have a lot of fantasies on my shelf, and it's not my favorite genre anymore. And I mean, I do read fantasies, I do read these types of books, and it's fine, you know, but sometimes it just kind of becomes a lot. But yeah, I am going to read and probably watch Someone Calls the Heart and just see. So, it's Saturday. And I have finished the first part of Never Never. Now I'm not going to talk about it because it will be in the Colleen Hoover video. But I gave it 3 stars, which is one of the, I think almost all of them have been 2 stars, except maybe like 2 that I have now given 3 stars. Which, yeah. So, other than that, since I have finished Find Me, I had to pick another audiobook to listen to. Now this one will be listened to during like 2 days, just because it is as long as Find Me. It is 400 pages. However, it is a much heavier book and kind of much longer in like the way it's written. And that is Emma, which is, I have read Pride and Prejudice, which I really loved, and now I am getting to Emma. So I am listening to this and following along, just because with classics you have a lot of Miss, Mr. and Miss, and that can make it a little difficult to follow along on who is who, and I am struggling a little bit with who is who. So I have been using Google to know who is, like, who is this Miss something, and that has been going good, you know, to basically know who is who. So I don't know how to explain Emma, just because I don't have a synopsis on this. Now, I don't think that she kind of wants to get married. She's not interested in that. So yeah, I don't really know what even GoodReads says about Emma, so why don't we just see, because I don't know how to explain Emma. So basically, here it says, beautiful, clever, rich and single Emma Woodhouse is perfectly content with her life and sees no need for either love or marriage. Nothing, however, delights her more than interfering in the romantic lives of others. But when she ignores the warnings of her good friend Mr. Knightley and attempts to arrange a suitable match for her protégée Harriet Smith, her carefully laid plans soon unravel and have consequences that she never expected. With its imperfect but charming heroine and its witty and subtle exploration of a relationship, Emma is often seen as Jane Austen's most flawless work. So, that's what Emma is about. So, yeah, I am halfway through. I am 204 pages in. This is almost 400 pages, so I am a little bit over halfway. But I have this is 2.5 hours in, and I have 2.5 hours left. Kind of a much slower book, and yeah, classics are definitely more of a slower pace. And one thing I definitely want to say, that if you are struggling with classics, then audiobooks, I feel like, are a great thing to listen to. But I will also kind of say that some classics are really difficult to know if you only listen to audiobooks. That is why I have a physical copy to kind of see where am I. And this one also has illustrations, which is great. But yeah, I am definitely really happy that I can follow along in this one. And I kind of want to get to all Jane Austen novels. So basically, I do know that when I am going to continue on with Jane Austen, I will need a physical copy because of all the... I mean, before they went with Mr., Miss, Mrs., and it just makes it really difficult to follow along just on audiobook. However, I found a great audiobook with multiple narrators. So it's a full cast, and I am loving it because we have different voices, and that is really, really great. And I hope that I can find more of Jane Austen's works with that. So yeah, so far this is going really, really well. I will finish it off tomorrow, just because I'm trying not to listen to too much, so I am, you know, exhausting myself. So yeah, this one will be finished off tomorrow, which is great. And then, yeah, I finished my ebook. So the next ebook I will be reading is part 2, which should be fine, you know. Now I have to say, I am really much more loving listening to Colleen Hoover books and not reading them. But this one, basically, the only place I could get Never Never was on Audible. And I had to use 3 credits to get all 3 books, and I don't want to do that. So I really wish that they had the Never Never series as one and not part 1, 2, and 3. They had it in Spanish, I do believe, and I don't talk Spanish, so I couldn't buy that. So yeah, I have to say, I am really hoping that... I mean, now it doesn't matter because I am reading them, but it will be really great that. So, to be honest, once I am... It Ends With Us, I do have an audiobook from not Audible. But then I have a few ones that are not, that are only on Audible. And I am thinking that I might have to buy them on Audible because it's just much easier to get through them. And yeah, especially if I'm not like 100% loving them. But yeah, I have, you know, read what I am supposed to read in these two. So I got to part 2 in this, and that is over 200 pages in. So I read 200 pages, so I'm hoping that I am able to read to page 400, maybe a little longer there. 402 will be the next one. So I'm really hoping that I will be able to do that. I might read part 3. So I might read the entire of part 2. So yeah, it went really well. Now this is a heavy book to read as well. Let's just say it. I am reading a lot of heavy books right now. Words of Radiance are like so complex. And then I also have picked up Valor. I am trying to read 100 pages, so I am able to finish this. I am on 306, so I should be able to get to 400. It doesn't take that long to read this. So 100 pages more. So it will take me a few days to finish this off, but it's just better to do that. So just taking it slow, and then after Valor I really have to see what I pick up. I might pick up the next Elise Kova book, wherever I have put that one. I'm so great at just taking it somewhere and don't knowing where I actually put it, so I will have to find that. It's the last one. I didn't get to the last like one the Elise cover book I was supposed to read last month, so I need to get to that. So I think I will start with that one, like 100 pages of that every day. And then I still have some other ones that I really should get to. So I will just have to see what I am actually reading. So yeah, so this will be the last day that I am filming, just because I want to take a few days to just actually read and get up that joy again, you know. So I'm gonna go now.